There is a massive lie at the heart of the influencer world, and it was just exposed on a reality show. If you think having a pretty face and a massive following is enough to make you iconic, you're in for a very rude awakening. I've spent years directing influencers of all sizes, and I've seen it again and again, but I never thought a show Kill It Style Creator War would be the one to prove it. Today, let's look together at why even the most famous creators failed and what skills you actually need to be iconic. The first challenge on the show was a photo shoot. Should be easy, right? But it instantly exposed the biggest lie in the influencer world. Being good at photos is not the same as being able to actually work with a camera. On social media, these girls win easily. They're beautiful, wealthy, stylish, socially acceptable in every way. That's a big advantage over the average person scrolling. Now, put 100 of them in the same room and suddenly you're stripped of your advantage. When everyone has a perfect face, pretty becomes the baseline. If everyone's gorgeous, how do you stand out? In this challenge, you could immediately tell who's used to put their phone on a tripod, running back and forth, shooting the same frame 100 times until it's perfect. Total control freaks. Put the same person in front of 40 professional photographers who each have their own eye and who won't show you a single shot before it's done, and she's lost. When you lose the control over the final shot, something else comes to the forefront. As a photographer myself, I can tell you, the photographer is not really interested in how you look. He or she is interested in how you feel in the frame. Think about it this way. In post-production, I can always retouch a flaw on your face or even a wardrobe mishap, but I can never Photoshop out a micro-expression of self-doubt, tension, or dissatisfaction. You cannot edit energy. Watching photographers rush towards certain creators while ignoring others was so fascinating. Despite the show being about fashion, it actually has nothing to do with their outfits. There is a girl in a very simple look that attracted every lens in the room. Why? Because of her energy and her ability to embody the character she created. When you stop seeing the camera as an enemy you need to control and start seeing it as a collaborator, you stop posing and start directing the energy in the room. This is the first skill you need to master. Remember, if you cannot lead the lens will eventually expose your self-doubt. But even if you master the camera, it means absolutely nothing if you don't know what you're trying to say with the final image. And that brings us to the first massive disaster of the show, the feed challenge. The setup was simple: 1 hour, several photo zones, any clothing they wanted, and one goal: create 9 cohesive Instagram posts with a clear message. Now, on paper, this should be easy. This is literally their day job. But it became a masterclass in why posting content and having a vision are two very different things. Out of 7 teams, most failed. They couldn't manage to upload the 9 posts in an hour. And we hear the same excuse over and over: it couldn't be done in an hour, when in reality they got stuck in the control freak loop, taking 100 photos of the same frame to get it perfect, only to post the very first photo they'd taken anyway. They were just wasting time for nothing. But what really outraged me was this team leader who said she wasn't the kind of creative person who could just make something out of nothing in an hour. She claimed she failed because she wasn't a model or an influencer, but a producer who creates trends. Look, I am currently working as a creative producer myself, and that is total oxymoron. What do you mean? Your entire job is to take limited resources, create a vision, and deliver a result within a certain time limit. If you can't organize a process to get 9 photos in 60 minutes, I genuinely don't understand what is it that you produce. And by the look on the judge's faces, when she said it, I wasn't the only one who thought that was a wild thing to say. Then we had the safe team. Instead of jumping between photo zones, they just stayed in one of them. Visually, genuinely great. Clean, understandable, cohesive. Probably the easiest feed to read on the whole show. But it also felt like 2016 Instagram. They executed well, But in a competition built to test your creative range, playing it safe is the riskiest move you can make. The winners, in my opinion, were head and shoulders above everyone else. They understood that a feed is a puzzle. On their own, some of their photos looked almost strange, but together they formed a story. And here is the thing. When they got the mic, they were concise. They didn't have to over-explain their idea. One of the biggest lessons I've learned as a creative director is that the longer you need to explain your idea or concept, the more it shows how uncertain you are and the weaker it makes you. Strong ideas with great visuals don't need over-explaining. This brings us to the next iconic skill, having a vision. Real influence was never just about getting likes for being pretty. It's about communicating an idea with your content that touches people. Okay, creating something is one thing, being honest about it is another. Next was, without a doubt, the most cringe-worthy moment of the entire show. After the low-budget styling task, part of the score came from likes, both from other contestants and from your existing followers. Of course, this meant people with a massive following had an unfair advantage, but then the impossible happened. One girl's likes jumped from near zero to 3,000 in 3 seconds. Every influencer in that room clocked it instantly. That sudden, unnatural surge of engagement can only happen when someone opens their wallet. And instead of interrupting this or disqualifying her, the producers did nothing. They just stood back and allowed the drama to unfold. But that wasn't even the most cringy moment of the show. Instead of dealing with the situation like a grown adult, she went and asked ChatGPT what she's supposed to do. And the AI advised her to just act like nothing happened. This is arguably the worst advice you could give in a purely human social situation. You can't AI generate your way out of a trust crisis. In that moment, she wasn't losing the game, she was losing the entire room. The funniest thing about it? Despite everyone knowing the numbers were manipulated, she was allowed to carry that advantage into the next round. But probably because in the next round, the social media numbers became completely useless. It was a test of pure human skill. Networking. Yes, social media success can open the doors for you. But once you are inside, your follower count becomes background noise. You are your own sales team. If you can't present yourself or articulate what you offer to the people who can give you a job, you're useless to them. It was fascinating and honestly a bit jarring to watch. These creators who have main character energy on a 6-inch screen suddenly became incredibly shy. Watching these super successful influencers struggle to hold a conversation was the ultimate proof that pretty is a passive skill, but presence is a professional one. But talking the talk is only the first step. If you manage to convince someone to hire you, you eventually have to deliver. And that brings us to the final, most brutal execution test of the show, the production challenge. Each team was given a full professional crew, videographers, makeup artists, lighting specialists, and exactly 1 hour in a studio to create a video introduction of the team. One person from each team was appointed director to manage the set. It wasn't just about the creative concept anymore, it was about managing the chaos of a professional shoot. The director didn't just have to manage the crew, they had to manage the egos of their own team. When you put several famous influencers in one room, everyone wants to pull the spotlight. They focused so much on how they personally look in the frame that they completely lost sight of the bigger picture, that this was a team assignment. As a creative director, I can tell you, things never go as planned. No matter how well I prepare for a shoot, something always goes wrong. The real skill here is knowing when to tighten control and when to let go. You have to be strict enough to say enough and move on to the next shot. If you spend your whole hour chasing one perfect take, You end up with an unfinished video. This is exactly why one team failed completely. They spent so much time struggling to agree among themselves that their final product was a mess. Then you have the audience factor. The red team was technically superior in my opinion, but the white team won the vote. Maybe it was the language barrier since the audience was Korean and the red team used mostly English, or maybe it was the fact that one red team member couldn't show up to promote the video. Either way, this challenge proved that a true creator is a manager of chaos. When the things go wrong on set, and they usually do, your job is to capture enough content to tell the story and finish the final product. Not to cry because something wasn't perfect. I don't know who will ultimately win the show, it's too early to tell. But personally, my favorite is Yo-Yo. It's not just the energy she radiates, it's the ability to imagine an idea and execute it in a short amount of time. She has all the technical skills to execute it herself. She isn't just a face, she's a force. This show has made one thing very clear. An iconic creator is not necessarily the most beautiful, the most fashionable, or the one with the most followers. The skill that truly makes you an icon is not the ability to pose or project a socially acceptable, perfect image for likes. It's the ability to share your values through your content, so people can choose you for who you are, not just how you look. When audience chooses you based on identity, it creates a genuine sense of belonging. They aren't just followers anymore. They are your fans that will support you in any situation. No matter how the show ends, I believe creators like Yo-Yo will always stand out among the sea of beautiful influencers. Because beauty is subjective, but the vision is a legacy. And if you want to see how you can take this vision and use it to build a career that pays, you need to watch my video on how to close more brand deals. See you there!